This video is going to take you from procrastinating and postponing your life to taking action in a way that feels aligned to you and having direction in your life. You are going to understand in this video why you're procrastinating. I'm going to explain it to you in a way that you've never heard before. I'm going to break it down for you so that you can have a new mindset and a new approach to your life and to what you're doing so that you can take action easily and you actually know where you're going. There is a missing key here in procrastinating that I will explain in this video, and that will completely shift your mindset around it, and you will never procrastinate again after watching this video. I was the biggest procrastinator. I feel like I've been called lazy so many times. I felt lazy as well. I felt like I had no direction in life. I felt like whatever I did was never good enough. I felt like everything had to be perfect, otherwise I didn't even want to do it. And this is all the symptoms of something bigger. Procrastination is just a symptom that there is something that you need to figure out in your life. And I'm going to tell you exactly what that is. But first, I just want to let you know that you're not procrastinating because you're lazy. You're procrastinating because you're confused. And if you don't know what you want, how are you going to take action on it? This is the thing. I was procrastinating because I was living a life that society wanted me to live, that my parents wanted me to live, that I was supposed to live according to the standards that I grew up with, right? But it wasn't deep down what I wanted. And so when you're living a life that is not what you actually want, but you're living a life for other people, for their own expectations, for what you're supposed to do, you're not listening to yourself, you're not listening to what you want, then that creates a lot of depression, that creates a lot of negative energy into your life because you are not living in alignment with who you actually are. And the hardest thing for me was to figure out who am I? What do I want? Because we as women live lives according to what other people want from us. Depending on your education and on where you grew up, you have a certain life. And if you're not happy with that life and you don't question that life and you don't understand that, is this what you want? Then you're going to be running around in circles. So basically, procrastination is a symptom of actually being confused, of not knowing what it is that you want. Because when you know what you want and you have a clear vision, then you actually go and take action to that vision, and it doesn't feel hard because it is aligned. Procrastination is a symptom of you being overwhelmed. There's so many things to do, there's so many possibilities, there's so many things to choose from. How you're going to choose something, and then you feel lost, and then you feel overwhelmed, and then you don't do anything. So in this video, I'm gonna break it down for you so you actually know exactly how to think to have a new mindset and to get the things done, because you have this one life that you know of, and there is no way that you can postpone your life anymore. This is it. This is the video that you watch that will change everything. The first step to have clarity, to have a clear vision, to have direction, the first step to have that is to ask yourself what you want and be so genuinely honest with yourself. If you don't know what you want, if you feel like there's so many possibilities, if you feel like you've tried things and you've failed in the past, at least you know what you don't want. So try this. Instead of writing down what you want, first write out what you don't want. Because to have an idea of what you want, you can cross out the things that you don't want. For example, for me, I do not want a 9-to-5 corporate job. I've done that. I don't want it anymore. I also didn't want to live in a very small town, in a very isolated place. I need movement. I need city. I need to be around people. I need to get out of the house and do things, right? So make a list of the things that you do not want, and you will clarify what you want by thinking about what's the opposite of that. What is the opposite of a 9-to-5 corporate job that I didn't want? It's to be free. It's to have my own online business. What is the opposite of living in a small isolated town in the middle of nowhere? It's living in a big city around so many people. And listen, life is going to be hard anyway. whatever you choose. If you choose to stay in your current life, it's gonna be hard. If you choose to move out and do the hard things, it's going to be hard. Building a business from scratch is hard. Moving out from scratch is hard. Starting from zero is hard, but so is, and I think it's even harder to stay in that position where you're right now, where you don't like your life, you don't know where you're going, you're running around in circles and you're complaining about a life that you're actually choosing. Because you didn't choose the circumstances you were born in, but you certainly choose as an adult, as a person, what to do with that and how to react to that. So you need to be really honest with what it is that you actually want. What is your vision? What would your dream life look like? What's your future you actually doing in that life? And I understand that when you think about that future life and it feels so far away because perhaps you're living in another country, perhaps you're doing a completely different job that you're doing right now, perhaps your ideal dream reality feels so far away from you, but this is the first step into getting out of that rut and into that feeling of I have clarity and I know where I'm going. So even if that dream vision feels really far away, go ahead and write it down. Write down what is it that you want for your life. You get to decide. You get to be the main character here. So instead of procrastinating and complaining and saying, oh my God, life is so hard, I can't do this. Girl, wake up. Take a sheet of paper. Write down what your ideal future self would do on a daily basis. This is going to give you clarity. This is going to give you direction. This is going to give you, okay, I'm going here. Even though it feels like it's so far away and further and it's impossible, you're going there. This is the vision. This is the thing that you need to be obsessed with. Because if you don't decide for yourself what you want, and if you're not honest with yourself on what you want, life will decide for you. Life will decide for you. Don't worry about it. Life will decide for you. Do you want life to decide for you, or do you want to be main character energy and make the decisions for yourself and make that happen? Because it's such a different energy. You're procrastinated because you're overwhelmed and you're confused. And the antidote to overwhelmed and confusion is having a clear vision and understanding what are the steps to get there. Because you're cutting off a lot of noise when you're doing this. You're cutting off a lot of things that you don't need in your life anymore, that you don't need to focus on anymore, because you have that clear direction and that's your North Star and you know you're going there. So what's your vision? What's your vision? Write that down. The whole point of this video is for you to understand that you need to get to know yourself better. When you know yourself, you know what you want, you know what you don't want, you know where you're going, you know what you're capable of doing, you know the things that make you happy, that you want to wake up to in the morning. All of those things are your life. So if you still don't know what you want, that's okay. That's a very good point to start, actually. That's the perfect point to start, because there's millions of possibilities. And in this era where you can do absolutely anything, like we're so lucky to be in positions where we have access to the internet, we have access to so much free information, that we can become anything. And this is perhaps the problem. You can become so many things and you don't know what to choose. And in this lifetime, you can try so many things. You can reinvent yourself so many times, and you can start from scratch so many times. So this is not about having it all figured out today. It's about having a clear vision of where you're going in the next 6 months. Just that. Don't overwhelm yourself with a 10-year vision or with a vision of yourself when you have kids and you're married if you're in your early 20s. That doesn't make sense. What makes sense is having a vision for the next 6 months of your life. Just that is going to give you so much clarity. And when you're there, when you have that 6-month vision of like, the future you in 6 months, what is she actually doing? Then you can envision that version of yourself. What is she doing in 6 months? You know, and you can jump like that into the timeline that you're supposed to be in. So the first thing that you need to do is having a clear vision, because that's going to give you direction, and then you can break it down in small action steps that you can do every single day. This is going to break all the confusion and all the chaos and all the procrastination. By the way, if you don't know where to start, if you don't know how to have that vision, if you have trouble imagining, visualizing, or writing it down, I really recommend you to go and listen to the Future Self Activation guided meditation. It's on my channel. I'll link it down below. It's a short meditation. You just close your eyes and I take you through a visualization to envision that future self so clear, and that future self is going to give you all the information you need to take action in this present moment. So there's no excuses. The video is free. It's on my channel. You can go check it out. If you listen to that video and to that meditation for 7 days, for 20 days, for 30 days, as long as you can every single day, the vision is going to become so clear to you, and you're going to become so obsessed with you that everything else that you don't want in your life is going to fall apart to make space for your life. So you need to be ready, and you need to decide that you're going to stop procrastinating, that you're going to stop being confused, that you are going to make a decision right now today to have clarity and to have direction, because no one is going to do that for you. No one is coming to save you. What you need to understand is that the only person that can give you advice is your future self, is that future version of you. And if you don't know her yet, if you haven't met her yet, I have a couple meditations on my channel that you can check out to activate that future version of you so that she can guide you through the steps that you need to take to get there, to bridge the gap between your current self and your future self. Because it's not as far away as you think it is. The fact that you can imagine it, the fact that it's in your head already, the fact that you can feel it in your bones means that you can get there. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to feel it or sense it or see it. When you are familiar with your vision, with your direction, with where you're going, it will be so easy to take action from there because you are already aligned with the vision and you actually know what aligns with this and what doesn't align with this. And you can actually choose among all the possibilities that you have of what to do, what aligns the most with your direction. And that's such an easy, clear way to decide on what to focus on. This is going to be it for this video. I hope that it helped you get clear on what you want, on where you're going, and understand that your mindset is everything. Your vision is everything. If you know where you're going, it's easier to take action from there and let go of anything else that doesn't serve your vision. Let me know in the comments what you took out from this video, and if you enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.